guys, it's your island girl, and I'm back with another reaction video for you today. And today I'm reacting to what it's really like dating a British man. And we're getting this one from Adventures and Naps. The link will be in the description below. Please go over and show her some love. Tell her your island girl send you. So this one catch my interest very, 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 very much. All right. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you're first time. To all my regular schmegglers, day one, sweetie pie, sweetie poos, come on in, right back. Put a smile on your face and enjoy this reaction with your island girl. But I'm gonna do no long talking. We're going to get right into this video because I want to hear what she have to say. Here we go, right about now.
Hi everyone, it's me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alana and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the last 7 years. Now, dating someone from a different culture, from a different background, from a different continent is very interesting, and it's exciting and it's fun.
I can
imagine. It's also
imagine.
kind of annoying.
Ooh.
As someone who is dating a British man, I feel like I have some authority to talk about what it's really like. So without further ado, let's go.
Let's
go,
baby.
First up, we both speak English. But now, just because we both speak English does not mean it is the same English. And to be completely honest, I didn't realize how different it would really be. There have been so many times when he'll say something and I'll just be like,
huh?
What does that even mean? Even now, you think that surely enough of those differences would come up. No, there are still ones that will surprise me, phrases and words and things that just, I have no idea. I have no idea. And until you find yourself in that conversation where that word or phrase or like slang language would come up, you don't know it. So like one that really got me was he said hokey cokey.
Okay,
and I said,
huh?
Pardon? So up until that point, I did not know that British people typically say hokey cokey, you know, that kids thing. North Americans say hokey pokey.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's different, but it is. There's also a real difference in terms of like the way that we speak. So I find from my experience, Canadians and Americans tend to be a bit more direct with what they say and what they mean. Not to say that they're necessarily blunt, although some people are, but I think North American English is very much like, I'm saying what I mean. I am using my language to convey what I think and feel in some type of direct way. But over the years, I have found that British people don't.
Listen, I get it. I get what she's saying because a lot of times I hear some of your slangs and the way that you talk, and I'm like, huh? Context clue, please. Because I have to use context clues in order to kind of figure out what you guys are saying. But because I've gotten accustomed to listening to you guys more and more, I get it on a lot of the times. But I'm like, woo, it takes my brain a second to let it click. Not to mention certain words that you use or the way that you use it is not implying exactly what I think it should be. So I get where she's coming from with this one. Yeah, let's continue.
Always do that. There is a real skill sometimes in deciphering what British people actually mean.
Yeah.
So just because they say something
doesn't mean the
does
same.
not mean that that is the meaning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this isn't just for dating or relationships, you know, bosses. This one I found a lot with bosses will say something perhaps maybe to soften the blow of saying something negative, but in fact, they were really angry. So sometimes it is just, it takes time to be able to decipher it. So with my partner, sometimes I have to say, is that what you really mean? Or are you saying something else? Just get to the point. And with that, actually, partner. Okay, so in North America, you don't really ever say partner when referring to your like significant other. It's either boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, wife, whatever.
Yeah.
And here in the UK, I started hearing people say partner to refer to their person, their significant other, their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, fiance, whatever. But a lot of people would use the term partner. At least here in Kent, I am in Kent. You guys see, I got a new, it's kind of cut off. Kent. That's me. I'll be completely honest. I love the word partner. I think it is such a nice word. It's so cozy. It's like a really cozy way to refer to your person. So I always say partner. That really upsets some people. That really upsets some people on YouTube, and they'll email me and stuff. I don't know why. I think it's great. Another thing that can take some time getting used to.
So I've heard that one before. As in the comment section when my regular schmegular typer say, you can stay with me and my partner, Island Girl. You're welcome when you come to the UK. And I'm like, partner. And then I'm talking to somebody from the UK and they say, my partner and I. I'm like, okay. So it didn't really click until she really said it. I'm like, she's right. That's how I hear a lot of British people speak about their significant other or their husband, their spouse, their boyfriend, girl. They don't say boyfriend, girlfriend. They don't say husband. They say partner. And I think that's pretty cool. The more I think about it, I'm like, cool. Yeah.
When dating a British man is sense of humor.
Ooh, dark.
I feel like this could be its own video. Now, of course, it is a stereotypical cliche thing to say that all British people have the same sense of humor, because they do not. But I think overarching that, there's kind of like similarities in terms of types of humor and sense of humor across the UK that they all kind of sit under an umbrella. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but it makes sense in my head. And so each person is different. They do have similarities when it comes to sense of humor, and getting to know and understand my partner's sense of humor took a little bit of time. Not gonna lie, it's just different to Canadians and Americans. So we're talking a lot of like sarcasm, bants, if you will, self-deprecating type stuff. I would also say like a little, maybe silly is not quite the right word, but sometimes he would say something in such like a deadpan way, and I'd have to be like, is this a joke? Being serious? What's happening? And this, of course, goes for all British people. Like, as a foreigner, when you are released into the UK and you are meeting all these people and partners and friends and coworkers and bosses, it does take time to get to know everybody's sense of humor, because it is different. Although there's like overarching common elements. But I am quite lucky that, in my humble opinion, I think sense of humor between Brits and Canadians have a lot more in common than Brits and Americans. I think that is like,
that's true,
quite different. So at least as a Canadian, like I kind of got it, but it still took time to like really get it. Another thing that
so when it comes on to sense of humor, human. When it comes to sense of humor, I get the Brits. I really do. And I think it is similar to Jamaica. That's why I get it so much, because an American sense of humor is way different from British sense of humor and Jamaican sense of humor, in my eyes. That's my opinion, people. Don't come for me. But yeah, I realize British sense of humor is on the dry side, more sarcastic side, and the bantering. And, you know, you can laugh at one appearance. Like, I find the things that funny, but they don't mean anything bad by it. You see what so over time I've gotten it, because when I started this channel and I was doing a lot of live stream, I wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting the humor in the comment section. I'm like, I was questioning a lot. You understand what I mean? But and when they say certain things and certain slangs, I got it before someone even explained it to me. And I'm like, oh, I get what they're saying. We do something similar in Jamaica. So over time, I've gotten so used to listening to you guys talk and see how you say stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on board with that. Than this kind of fluffed up side of humor that American have. You understand? Because when British people say something, it don't literally mean. For instance, they're saying, okay, check if the light is on. They're not just telling you to check and walk away. They're telling you, okay, if the light is on, turn it off. Yeah, I get it. Believe me, guys, I get it.
I never really considered as an issue or as even a thing to consider is pop culture. So in Canada, we actually learned about the UK because, of course, Canada and Canadians have a lot of British heritage, yada, yada, yada. But you don't learn about pop culture, about like the stuff that you experience growing up in the UK. So even things as simple and as basic for a lot of Brits, like Postman Pat.
What's that?
Is there anybody out there who doesn't know who Postman Pat is?
No, I don't know.
I didn't. So there's sometimes when he would make a reference to something or an event or a celebrity or a TV show or anything that just sort of happens throughout your life as a British person. I do not know what it is. I would not have been taught that at school. It's not like a historical event. It's just pop culture. It's like daily life. So these types of references, like the word choices and like the word differences, you can't really plan for it. Like you can't study it. When it happens and you realize, I have no idea what that is, only then can you start to figure it out. Or like Rosie and Jim. Do most people know what that is?
Oh.
Because I did not.
I still
and
don't.
There's no way for me to have known that because that's not something I would have ever come into contact with in Canada. So there's lots of these like pop culture. They're kind of like pop culture black holes. I had no knowledge or awareness of them until he mentions one. And then we kind of have to do like a bit of a deep dive to explain that thing to me. And to be fair, that goes both ways. So there's lots of Canadian things that Brits wouldn't know about. Mr. Dress Up, what an icon. Polka dot shorts, incredible. So it does take time, like when these things pop up and you have to be like, don't know what you're talking about. And then you have to do some research. Another thing in the world of...
That's an interesting one, the pop culture. I don't really know. Well, I'm going to agree with her on that because if you're not born into that time or not time, if you're not born within that region, then you wouldn't understand the pop culture that they have. So certain things you're not going to be familiar with, like Postman Pat, have no clue what she's talking about it. And I'm like, okay, just like Blobby. I wouldn't know what you're talking about. You understand me? So, and certain phrase that you use, I wouldn't be familiar with it. Just like how if I use certain phrase, you guys wouldn't be familiar with it because you didn't grow up in Jamaica and hear these terms. So, and as for me, and it's the same thing in the US here. They may say a few things, and I really don't understand what they're talking about until I ask them, okay, what are you talking about? Because I'm lost there. So yeah, pop culture on a whole is based on if you grow up within that area or, and it's easier for you to understand. So I can see where she's coming from with that one.
Dating a British man, we have to talk about the pub.
Oh.
Not all British men, of course, not all, but a fair few like to have a pint. I think that's fair to say. And where do you do that?
At the
do
pub.
That at the pub. So I don't think it's unreasonable to like meet up at the pub or have a date at the pub, or just the pub is like part of the dating experience,
okay,
which is not something you have in North America. If you're going out to drink in North America, like you are going out on a date to drink, you're going to go to the bar, right? That's very common to have a date at the bar or to meet up at the bar. But a bar and a pub have like two completely different vibes.
Okay.
So it was kind of weird at first, like going to a pub in a date sense, because that's really not something that I would have done in Canada. Not that I wouldn't want to. I love going to pubs, even if I'm not drinking. Like, I just love visiting as many different pubs as humanly possible. They all have their like own vibe and personality and history, and I love all of that stuff. So I'm not complaining. It's just a very different atmosphere. We also need to talk about accents, because
So the pub life while dating a British man. So she's basically saying, listen, you gotta expect that. You gotta expect going on dates to the pub. And it's not you wouldn't think it as your ideal place, but it's fine because they do like to have them a pint of beer or something. Not saying that all British men drink, but they like to have their juice. Huh? Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a potato. You do what takes place in their thing, in their area, in their stuff. You just kind of immerse yourself into what's going on in their culture. That's how it goes. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm.
This is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. One of the things that I love about the UK is the variety for such a small land mass.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variety for all sorts of things, and one of them is accents. Ooh. So if you take the train, 30 miles down the line, the accent will be different. The words for certain things can also be different, and I love that. That's really not something you experience in Canada. I think I'd say like 80% of Canadians sound so similar, even though we are an absolute massive country. So here, when it comes to dating, just because you maybe are familiar with one accent or one accent, absolutely does not mean you will be able to understand all of them, or even half of them. They're that different and they're that varied. I love it, but it also makes things a little bit difficult. Even after living in the UK for 7 years, what really throws me, so I'm in Kent and I can recognize this sort of general accent quite easily. It gets to the point now where I don't hear an accent for people in Kent. Like, I don't hear it anymore, which is like a wild concept as it is. But what really throws me is, say I need to call someone, like I need to call a business or need to speak to somebody on the phone, and you get someone from a different part of the UK. And suddenly I realize, wow, I don't know what they're saying. I would say at about 5 years, maybe even before that, but let's say 5 years, I stopped noticing the accent of Brits around me. So I don't hear my partner's accent anymore. I don't really hear people's accent in Kent, like at the shops or just general interactions, going to the pub, the supermarket, whatever. I don't really hear that anymore. In terms of myself, my voice has changed. Maybe not so much my particular accent, but I know the cadence of my speech has changed, and the way that I put certain emphasis on different words has changed to a more British sounding way. So while it may not sound like anything on this video, if you were to go back on my channel, I have videos from the last like 5 years. If you found a video from about 5 years ago, my voice is remarkably different, which is wild. So my voice has been changed by being around British people, by dating a British person, but unfortunately for my partner, his voice has also changed. Oh. We have had multiple situations where he's speaking to somebody who doesn't know him, and they're like, so whereabouts are you from? And he's like, I'm from here. And they're like, wow, your accent is really weird.
You're rubbing off on him.
Unfortunately, that is my fault. Having heard my voice so much,
Yep.
Unfortunately for him, his accent has now changed. So it's interesting that even though we do not live in Canada, and I'm sure if he lived in Canada, it probably would have happened a lot quicker, kind of like my voice changing because you're around so many more people.
Yeah.
But even though he's just around me as a Canadian speaker, as a Canadian voice, that has altered his accent, which is just wild. And this is probably like a really long tangent, but I'll end it there. Another thing on what it's...
Oh, let me breathe on this one. Accents. Oh, baby. Just like her. I love to hear it. Your guy's accent, it just tickles my fancy. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. It doesn't matter if it's high or low. It doesn't, I don't care what it is, whether I can understand it or not. Just once you open your mouth and start talking as a British person, I'm in la la land. I just love it. I just love it. I love it. I love it. And I can't get enough of it. I can sit and listen to a Brit talk to me all day long. And I'm dead serious on that. I was going to use it anyway. But I'm so serious on it. I just love it. As Cynthia would say, it's sexy. That is funny. He's like, it's a sexy accent. I'm going to put that one there. Tickle my fancy, and it's very sexy. And I know you guys have a lot of accents. Don't get me wrong. I know it's based on different region, the accent changes. Sometimes, like I said, I don't even understand what you guys are saying. But it just sounds so sweet to my ears. I don't care. So, yeah, that's one thing I do really love about British.
Really like dating a British man. Manners.
Oh,
how nice. Now, of course, we have to say not all British men are polite and have manners and will open the door for you or will like pull out a chair for you or all those kind of nice, courteous things.
We have them everywhere.
But I will say like a good portion of them. In my humble opinion, it's a lovely personality trait to be polite, to have manners.
I think so.
I love it. Yeah. I think overall, one of the things that I love the most, and it also kind of goes for just living in a foreign country, is that you gain a new perspective. And this does work both ways. So say I do something the Canadian way or like the North American way, because between you and me, Americans and Canadians do a lot of the same things. We're very similar that way. So maybe I do something the North American way and my partner can show me the British way. This is how a British person would do it. And maybe it's better and maybe it's not, but it's really exciting to learn about that. Yep. It's so nice to have a different perspective, you know, to learn about different values and different experiences and a different way of saying things and a different way of doing things. And no, the British way is not always the best way. I'm going to say that right now. But it's still fun and exciting to learn about it and to try things a new way. And also being able to share the Canadian way with my partner. We go back to Canada and I can show him like, hey, this is how we do it in Canada. And he's like, oh my God, that's great. That sucks. You know, like there's no perfect answer and there's no perfect way of doing things and no country is perfect, but it's so much fun to share those differences. So what is it really like dating a British man? Well, it's fun and exciting and it's different and it's great. And as I'm sitting here, I know that people are typing or perhaps already typed, why isn't your partner in this video? I actually get angry emails from people that my partner is not featured on my YouTube channel. And that's kind of weird, actually. That's sort of a weird thing to do. And while he is incredibly supportive of Adventures in Apps and just a wonderful person, he does not want to be on YouTube. And honestly, I do not blame him. So no, he's not in this video. I know I've already gotten emails probably about it. That's okay. Still weird to email somebody about that, but It's too
Indeed.
late now. I thought I should just address it.
Not that way.
He does exist. He just doesn't want to be on YouTube. And I respect that. And I am happy to sit in the kitchen and chat about stuff. And he does not need to be on videos. All right. So that's my little
yeah,
behind the scenes message. I don't know what you call that. Anyway, if you would like to watch more videos,
I love the fact that's how she put it. She's like, look, they are polite, they're courteous, they're respectful. They're like, oh, I pulled this chair out. Chivalry is not dead. Let's put it that way to be exact. Chivalry is not dead, and you will get that from a British man. Okay, baby, I hear you. I hear you. I don't see anything wrong with what she said at the end. Also, that um he doesn't want to be on camera. Ain't nothing wrong. You don't have to show your partner on your channel. Some of them just don't want to be on there, and I'm on board with that. Sometimes you just want a space for just you, and they're supportive in the back, or even if they're not, it's just that it's your thing. You know, it's your adventure. So yeah. So yeah, I'm ranting with her little rant because I can see where she's coming from. Because mine has never been on mine. It is what it is, and I don't mind. So, I love, and she said, and to end it all off, and what to answer her question, what it is really like dating a British man. It's amazing, and it's fun, and it's interesting, and curiosity killing the cat over here. It is funny. It is so funny. But I hope you guys enjoy this one. I thought this one just catch my interest, and I'm like, you know what? Let me check this one out. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. That's the way that you help to support this channel. If you want to support us in another way, there's a join button on my channel. You can see whatever perks is offered. If you hit that button, the link for the membership is also in the description below. Not only that, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and come on in and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss whenever time I upload a video. It's your island girl, and I'm running out of here. Be good, be kind, be safe, love each other, and I'll definitely catch you guys in another video. Love you guys. Bye.